don't know when the wind and rain quit last night, but yeah, the moon's way up there instead of over there, and there's stars out. So this is how we're going to start the third day of the year. Last I saw, it's supposed to be like 80% chance of rain today, but I see a little fog. Maybe it won't rain. First fog one direction, clear as a bell the other direction. So who knows? We'll see what we get. Okay, gotta say, it's Sunday morning and it's right at 6 o'clock right now. I catch up on YouTube in the mornings. Do a little pocket watching, do a little reel watching while I'm trying to feed. And I got to give a shout out back to Ernie Hatmaker. She gives shout outs on every Sunday morning. She gets groups of channels that she does and she describes them. And I got this morning, mine's the first one. And not only pretty accurate, but entertaining. Literally, I set those buckets up in the morning and I climb up on the end and get up on the plank. I put her in my pocket to climb up there. As I'm climbing up, she says, "Don't fall." How did she know? What is with this chick? Is she got a satellite spying on me? Did she steal that one that we were going to send old Doc Martin up in? I don't know. I got to give you a shout out there, sweetheart, because that's much appreciated. If you haven't checked her out, check her out. And don't forget her husband, Ed's attention to detail. I think that's why she knows what's going on with me. She knows what's going on with Ed. Anyway, she talks about the cows here and stuff, and I looked over here when I got to this part of the feeder, and, hey, there's my audience staring at me this morning. That's my real fan club right there. Anyway, I got to get back to feeding before they get upset with me. Well, Wade, there's your sunrise. Actually looks better on the camera than it does in person this morning. That's unusual. No color to it. Clouds are cruising along pretty good. And yeah, it's light enough to see what we got now. Looks like it's still forcing under the bridge. It's right to the top, though. It's up on top of the bridge a little bit. This isn't bad. Years ago, they blew a big chunk of rock channel out of the river. I don't know, probably 20 miles downstream from where this creek hits it. And that did a biggie for not being flooded. It's just up to the pipes over there. The pipes that are in the water are actually tied to the pole. Our spring used to be just to the right of the pole down there before they had to drill the well, because cows would come in for water and drink when Mom was in the shower, and then Mom had no water and full of soap, and she got narrow-minded, and that didn't go on very many years. Anyway, when I was a kid, the spring was built up. It was like 3.5, 4 feet concrete and brick foundation, and it would get up into it. So most of this down here would be roughly 5 feet of water. And this is actually pretty good for the last few years. The last few years it's just stayed right at the top of the bank and chewed the bank out. It gets up just out of the bank like this, and it really makes a big difference on how much damage it does. But yep, that's why we can't get to the other side to do a whole lot. People, oh, why don't you build on the other side of the creek? That's great. Yeah, there's, most of the property's over there. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's 3 deer. They're moving now. Hey. Oh, make that 4. I didn't see the one off to the right. So, there you go. Another piece of the day. See how much we get. I mean, it's supposed to rain today, but spin you around and the moon's still out, so we'll see what happens. I think today's supposed to be the better day. Not that there's a lot that really has to get done outside, but there is some that needs to, so maybe number 1 can get some of that done. Who knows? But like I said, I'd show you some water when it was up, and it's up pretty good. If you remember when I was moving all those pipe over, there was a big puddle straight down here. That was almost to the top of my boots when I was moving the pipe. So right now that would be, halfway between my knee and my hip, I suppose. So there's just a couple feet there. Okay, I gotta go do something besides show you the high water. Hey, guess what? Making parts. That slip yoke is off the long section of driveline that came out of the old buggy. The U-joints out of that short little, out of this one. They were brand new, so why not use one? I cut the other one off to get that. And that's a chunk, and I don't remember what that came off of, but that's the yoke I need. I've got a adapter plate. The inside is just right to just press the slip yoke piece into and weld in. And on the outside, I've got a step all nicely trued up that'll slip right inside here. But this has to get cut back, and I might have to do some changing because it's got to get cut back to about here to get everything short enough. And if anybody knows how these are made, that cast piece comes in at least an inch. So I might be doing a little more machining to get it short enough. I thought about using just that little bugger there, but it's kind of hard to start out from a yoke and get anywhere. There's really no base to it there. Where here it's already got some base. So I'm going to get me some lunch and come back and figure out what to do. I may end up just sticking that one in the lathe and turning that weld off so I can get it apart. And then see what I got to do after that. I can't get a hold of this end with the lathe, so whatever work I got to do on the other end is just going to be a pain in the butt. But it is what it is. We'll make it work one way or the other. So we'll just go from there. Actually, what I could probably do, get this off, true the ends up, and cut down the cast inside here. Cut it down wherever I need to and press it back on and use this for a coupler between the two. That might work. I don't know. I just got a little head scratching about it. Hopefully I'll get it done today and show you the results. Okay, lunch is over. And hey, I got out of having to take some steers into town, so the kids just got the 2 we had left loaded up, and they're down at the neighbors right now. I fully expected to go help them down at the neighbors, but So okay, can't even talk today. Upon closer inspection and looking, with the travel that has, I mean, the biggest thing is it'll travel enough to get the drive line in and out. That's the biggest thing. Other than that, all it's going to do, it probably won't even move a 1/4 inch. There's how much I took off. There's what I got. I'm trusting that edge is true all the way around. It appears to be, because that's what I measured off of for this. I left a 1/2 inch all the way around, and I wish this was thicker, but that's what I got, and it ain't going to go anywhere anyway. That, yeah, it wiggles a little bit because I took a little too much out on the last pass, but never see that. That goes there. This is pretty much a press fit, but once it's in there, it's not quite as tight. Here, you can see the ridge in there. So I'm contemplating which direction I go first. Do I weld the plate to the big yoke first, or do I go to the slip yoke? If I go to the slip yoke, I can put weld inside and out, and that'll just kind of stiffen it up a little better. Shouldn't be an issue anyway, but it isn't going to hurt. And then I can just go for broke on the outside. Give her plenty of extra weld. So that's how you do it. Oh, the other thing, you want to time them. Never, ever, ever forget. They should be opposites, I believe. Just because I believe, I'm going to go look and make sure. But on this bugger, they're timed the same. So, yeah, I'll go look underneath the truck. It don't take long. I just want to make sure. And I don't remember which way that was when I took it apart. So, I'll go look and then make this all hot. And when it cools down, throw some paint on it and hopefully get it put together. Okay. I goofed, but I didn't goof. I put a good bead around here, and then I thought, won't hurt to cap it. So I capped it, but I capped it kind of heavy. So then it ended up kind of ugly, not quite even. I can't finish grinding it in here because the grinder won't fit. It's all the farther I can get away from the chuck. So that's how it's going to be. It's not cool enough to play with yet. It's not exactly perfect. I didn't expect it to be. So here's how perfect it is. But that little tiny bit, I mean, on here, that's running 2,000 RPMs. It's not going to be going that fast in there. Real quick, there's finished product. And yeah, by the way, they're supposed to be lined up. That's what everything else I could find around here was. Paint will be dry enough tomorrow. I can clean it out of those two holes there and hopefully find what number one did with U-bolts for the U-joint there and get her in. So with that, I even cleaned the shop up. Look at that. Thank you for watching. I've got a few new subscribers popped up today. Thank you, Ernie Hatmaker, for the shout out. She's awesome. She checks out channels and then recommends them and says what they do so people have a clue before they show up. So go check her out. She don't want no shout outs. I mean, she's told me that before, but you know, go check her out. She's a pretty cool lady. And she's a great lady. She married Ned. So while you're checking out her channel, check out her husband's channel. Ed's Attention to Detail. I got a lot of other shout outs I could give, but video's long and I'm going in. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. And tomorrow that'll have a driveline in it. Then I can stick a stick in the transmission and put it in gear so I don't have to keep it blocked. Always fun.